What kind of billionaire stepmother throws away her wealth, disguises herself as a poor maid, and moves into her own son's mansion? Everyone laughed at Angela Williams when she told them her plan. But what she uncovered inside that house didn't just break her son's heart, it destroyed the entire family. This is a story of betrayal, greed, and the painful truth about love. By the time you reach the end, you'll understand why sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones who wear the deepest masks. Angela Williams had everything money could buy: power, wealth, respect. But all that meant nothing the moment she met Grace, the woman her stepson David planned to marry. Grace was beautiful, charming, and carried herself like an angel. Everyone adored her. Everyone, except Angela. There was something in Grace's eyes Angela didn't trust. She had seen too many pretty faces that hid ugly hearts. And Angela knew one thing for sure. When money is involved, people wear masks. That night, at her dining table in Ikoyi, Angela spoke to her closest friend, Clara. "Clara, my son is blind," Angela said, holding her glass of wine. "He thinks Grace loves him. But I see something else. Something greedy. Something dangerous." Clara frowned. "So what do you plan to do? You can't just forbid him. He's grown." Angela's lips curved into a sly smile. If Grace is really who she claims to be, then she won't mind a test. "What kind of test?" Clara asked, curious. Angela leaned forward. "I'll disguise myself as a maid in their home. If Grace has a pure heart, she'll treat me with kindness. But if she's after money, her true colors will show." Clara gasped. "Angela, you're a billionaire. People will laugh if they find out." Angela's eyes hardened. "Let them laugh. I'd rather lose my pride than watch my son lose his life to a wicked woman." The next morning, Angela stripped away her diamonds, designer gowns, and luxury makeup. She tied a faded wrapper, wore rubber slippers, and carried a gonna-must-go bag. Her face was bare, her hair hidden under a scarf. No one who saw her that day would believe this was Angela Williams, one of Lagos' richest women. She knocked on the door of David's new mansion in Lekki Phase 1. David opened the door himself. "Oh, you must be the new maid the agency sent. Come in." Angela bowed slightly. "Yes, sir." From the living room, Grace's voice rang out. "David, who's at the door?" David smiled. "Our new maid. She'll help with the housework." Grace appeared, wearing a short silk gown, her long nails painted blood red. She eyed Angela from head to toe and raised a brow. "Another maid?" she muttered. "Is this necessary?" "Grace, we need extra hands." "Stop worrying," David said, kissing her cheek. Grace forced a smile and turned to Angela. "What's your name?" Angela lowered her head. "You can call me Madam." She paused. "No, just call me Mama Tessie." Grace smirked. "Fine. Mama Tessie. I hope you know your place in this house. Don't break anything. Don't disturb me. And remember, you answer me before anyone else." "Understood." Angela nodded. "Yes, Ma." Her heart was already heavy. The test had just begun. Within the first week, Angela saw everything she feared. When David was home, Grace acted like a saint, sweet, gentle, caring. She even pretended to be friendly to the maid. But the moment David left for work, Grace's mask fell off. "Mama Tessie," she shouted one morning. "Didn't I tell you I don't want to see any dust on this table? What kind of useless maid are you?" Angela bowed her head. "Sorry, Ma, I'll clean it again." Grace hissed and threw a glass cup on the floor. "Clean that mess too. You're lucky I don't cut your salary." Angela bent to pick the pieces, her hands trembling. Inside, her heart was boiling, but she endured. Later that afternoon, Grace's friend, Vivian, came over. Vivian was equally flashy, with a loud voice and sharp tongue. "Girl, this your maid looks so old and slow," Vivian laughed. "Where did David pick her from?" Grace smirked. Don't mind him. He thinks we need her. Honestly, if I had my way, I'd sack her already. The two women laughed, sipping their wine, while Angela quietly washed dishes in the kitchen. But Grace didn't know Angela had sharp ears. And every insult cut Angela like a knife. One evening, while cleaning Grace's bedroom, Angela noticed something strange. Grace's phone was left unlocked on the bed, and a message popped up. Angela froze. The message read, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Same hotel, same room. Don't let your fiancé suspect anything. Kelvin." Angela's heart stopped. Who was Kelvin? Was Grace cheating on David already? She took a quick picture of the message with her hidden phone and put the device back before Grace returned. That night, Angela couldn't sleep. She sat in her small maid's room, staring at the ceiling. "If I tell David now, he won't believe me," she whispered to herself. "I need proof. Real proof." The next day, Angela followed Grace secretly. She lied that she needed to buy foodstuff at the market, but instead took a kiki to a hotel in Victoria Island. There, she saw Grace enter a room with a tall man, Kelvin. They hugged like lovers, then disappeared inside. Angela's chest tightened. She wanted to burst in, but she held herself back. Instead, she recorded a short video from the hallway. Her hands shook as she saved the clip. "David must see this," she whispered. But fate wasn't ready to make it easy. Because as Angela left the hotel, Grace spotted her reflection in the lobby mirror. Her eyes narrowed. "Wait a second. Isn't that our maid?" Grace's suspicion was now aroused. She turned to Kelvin. "That woman. She's been working in my house. But something about her doesn't add up. She's too observant. Too quiet. I don't trust her." Kelvin smirked. "Then find out who she really is. Because if she's not just a maid, she could ruin everything." Grace's eyes burned with anger. "If Mama Tessie thinks she can spy on me, then she has no idea who she's messing with. By the time I'm done, she'll regret ever stepping into my house." Angela didn't know it yet, but the game had changed. Grace was no longer careless. She was hunting her. And the truth Angela was fighting to reveal might destroy her before David ever found out. From the moment Grace spotted Angela leaving the hotel, her mind was restless. Who exactly was this maid? Why was she at the same hotel she used for her secret affair? That night, Grace sat in her bedroom, pacing. "No ordinary maid follows her madam to a hotel," she muttered. "She's hiding something." Vivian, her friend, sipped a drink on the bed. "You think she's a spy?" Grace clenched her teeth. "Maybe. But if she is, then she chose the wrong person to spy on." Her eyes hardened. "Tomorrow, I'll test her myself." The next morning, Grace deliberately knocked over a tray of hot tea on Angela's arm. Angela gasped in pain, but kept quiet. Grace folded her arms. "Why are you staring at me? If you can't handle small work, you should leave this house." Angela bowed her head. "Sorry, Ma." But deep inside, Grace was studying her face. The way Mama Tessie carried herself didn't feel like a poor woman. Her posture was too confident, her silence too controlled. "This maid is not ordinary," Grace whispered to herself. Later that week, Grace sneaked into Angela's small maid's room. She searched the bag under the bed and froze. Inside was a small purse containing an expensive-looking pen with Angela's initials engraved in gold. A.W. Grace's eyes widened. Who carries a pen worth millions if she's just a maid? Before she could think further, she heard footsteps. Angela was returning. Grace quickly hid the purse but kept the secret in her heart. She smiled wickedly. "So, Mama Tessie, let's see how long you keep this act." Days later, David gathered everyone in the mansion. His face glowed with excitement. "Grace," he said, holding her hand, "I want the world to know. We're getting married next month." The room exploded in cheers. But Angela's heart sank. Next month, she hadn't gathered enough proof yet. If this marriage happened, David's life would be ruined. Grace leaned toward her, smirking. "Did you hear that, Maid? Soon, you'll be serving me at my wedding. Make sure you clean your uniform properly. I want everything perfect." Angela forced a weak smile, but inside, her chest was burning. One evening, Grace left the house for another meeting with Kelvin. This time, Angela followed discreetly again. At the hotel, she finally caught a clear recording of Grace in Kelvin's arms, whispering, "Don't worry, baby. Once I marry David and secure the wealth, I'll divorce him. Then we'll live happily ever after." Angela's eyes filled with tears. Her hands shook as she held the phone. She finally had the proof. But before she could leave, a cold hand gripped her shoulder. It was Grace. "So it's true," Grace sneered. "You've been spying on me all this while. Who sent you? Who are you really?" Angela's heart pounded. She couldn't let her cover blow yet. "I'm just a maid," Angela whispered. Grace laughed. "A maid with expensive pens? A maid who spies like a detective? You think I'm stupid?" She snatched Angela's phone, opened the gallery, and saw the video. Her face twisted in rage. "So you want to destroy me?" Before Angela could react, Grace smashed the phone on the floor, shattering it. Angela gasped. "No!" Grace leaned close to her ear. "You may have seen something, but without proof, nobody will ever believe you. And if you try me, I'll make sure you disappear from this house forever." The wedding day drew closer. Angela's heart was in pieces. Her proof was gone. David refused to hear a word against Grace. "Mom, why can't you accept her?" he asked one evening, frustrated. "You're acting paranoid. Grace loves me." Angela swallowed hard. She wanted to scream the truth, but she couldn't. If she revealed her disguise without evidence, David would think she was manipulating him. Clara urged her, "Angela, tell him the truth about who you are before it's too late." But Angela shook her head. "No. If he's to believe me, he must see it with his own eyes." The hall was decorated with gold and white. Guests filled the seats. Cameras flashed everywhere. Grace walked in wearing a dazzling gown, her face glowing with fake innocence. Angela, still disguised as Mama Tessie, stood quietly in the corner, carrying a tray. Her heart raced. As the priest began the vows, Angela's tears fell. This can't happen. Not like this. Suddenly, a voice rang out from the back of the hall. "Stop this wedding." Everyone turned. It was Kelvin. Grace's face drained of color. "What are you doing here?" she whispered. Kelvin marched forward, anger boiling in his eyes. "You told me we'd be together after you marry him. You used me, Grace." The hall erupted in gasps. Angela's heart leapt. The truth was finally spilling out. David stared at Grace, confused. "What is he talking about?" Grace stammered. "David, please. I can explain." But before she could finish, Angela stepped forward. "Don't bother, Grace. The lies are over." Everyone stared. Grace sneered. "And who are you to speak here, stupid maid?" Angela reached up, pulled off her scarf, and straightened her back. Her voice thundered through the hall. "I am Angela Williams, David's stepmother, and I disguised myself as a maid in this house to see your true colors." The hall went silent. Cameras flashed. Gasps filled the air. David's jaw dropped. "Mom, what?" Angela's eyes burned with tears. "I watched how you insulted me, how you mocked me, how you betrayed my son. And today, the whole world has seen your greed." Grace broke down, trembling. "David, please. I did it for us. I just wanted security. I love you, I swear." David's eyes were red with fury. "Love? You don't know the meaning of love. You only love money." He tore the wedding ring from his pocket and threw it on the floor. "This wedding is over." The hall shook with murmurs. Guests whispered. Cameras captured every moment. Grace fell to her knees, crying, but nobody pitied her. Angela placed a hand on David's shoulder. "Son, I didn't do this to embarrass you. I did it to save you." Sometimes love wears a beautiful mask, but only time and truth reveal the monster beneath. David hugged her tightly, sobbing. "Thank you, Mom. I almost ruined my life." Grace was escorted out of the hall in shame, her once perfect life crumbling in seconds. Weeks later, David sat with Angela on the balcony of their home. "You risked everything," he said softly. "Your pride, your name, your comfort. All for me." Angela smiled faintly. "That's what mothers do. Sometimes love means going to war for the people we care about." David sighed deeply. "I'll never doubt your wisdom again." Angela looked into the night sky. "Remember this, son. Money can buy diamonds, but it can never buy true love. And anyone who chooses greed over sincerity will always pay the price." What are your thoughts on this story, and do you think Angel did the right thing as a stepmother? Please leave your comments, like and share this video for your loved ones.